You're listening to the Vale This Week from Bro Radio. I'm Oliver Perry. On this week's edition, we visited Cardiff Airport as the first ever transatlantic flight from Wales in 20 years took place last Saturday, flying to Toronto. We'll hear from the Chief Executive of the Airport, Jon Bridge, and Welsh Cabinet Minister for Enterprise, Connectivity and Energy, Adam Price, about what this new route means for the Welsh economy and the years to come. It feels like the election was yesterday, but the Senedd is on a break, just 2 weeks into its 7th term. We find out what the members of Senedd do during the recess and what it means to you. And the hottest day in May in Wales was recorded on Tuesday, with temperatures reaching nearly 33 degrees in Cardiff. We find out how people here in the Vale enjoy the beautiful sunshine, and we speak to the charity that saves lives at the sea, the RNLI, to find out more about how to stay safe on the beach. All that, plus news, sports, events, and what's on here in the Vale of Glamorgan. This is the Vale This Week. Good evening and welcome to the programme. The past weekend marked a milestone for Cardiff Airport as it launched the first transatlantic flight in 20 years. Canadian airline WestJet's new Cardiff to Toronto direct route comes at a time when the airport passenger numbers continue to increase year by year. I went to the launch of this service to find out more. When many in the Vale and Wales think of Cardiff Airport, most think of short-haul flights across the UK, Ireland and Western Europe, but recent developments are attempting to change this mindset. Last Saturday, WestJet launched their Cardiff to Toronto service, providing a direct transatlantic service to Wales for the first time in 20 years. But will the route lead to a much-needed economic boost to the airport, alongside further improvements to transport outside of Wales for the years to come? I asked CEO of Cardiff Airport, Jon Bridge, about his ambitions for the airport and route going forward, as well as what it will bring to Wales.
There is a huge amount of excitement. I think you've seen it and heard it today. We are actively trying to develop further routes. It is a slow burn, they take some time, and I think it's important that everybody understands that. They don't just happen overnight, but we're proactively going out and talking to many airlines trying to develop routes for Cardiff.
So there's much hope that after this long-haul flight there could be other ones that do follow after this one?
I certainly hope so. We're working very hard to try and make that happen.
Is the success on this one dependent on future routes coming, or is it separate from this one's success?
No, I think it's separate. It obviously really helps. It generates a contagious confidence, but they are separate. It's not linked to this at all. No.
So what are your overall plans and ambitions for the airport for the next 5-10 years to come?
Yeah, as I say, I'm 6 months in, so I'm seeking first to understand first. The whole piece around for the next 5 years particularly is to develop routes, to try and drive our passenger growth, is to develop our operation for cargo, and also just to make sure that we're utilising the asset. We've got a great asset here at Cardiff Airport, so it's exploring many opportunities for alternative revenue. I've met Adam Price for the first time today, and I think we've got real shared vision for what we can do for the Welsh economy, and I'm really looking forward to working with the new government.
If you can give an elevator pitch to any of our listeners across the Vale, what would you say to get customers to come to Cardiff Airport to take this route, opposed to other airlines, opposed to other routes, opposed to other transport hubs like Gatwick, like Heathrow, which are more established with long-haul flights in the UK?
Yeah, I think our point of difference is our service. We've got a great team here. We're very passionate about delivering that service. For your customers in the Vale, we're obviously very close. You avoid all of those huge traffic jams going down to Heathrow Airport, and we've got a really good slick process here. We've just invested in our terminal, in our security, and actually we give a really good experience. So please support your airport.
Following my conversation with Jon Bridge, it was clear that the airport wished for many more long-haul flights to follow in a similar fashion to this one, which may come in the form of additional WestJet routes. I was able to speak to WestJet's General Manager of Airport Affairs and Strategy, Chris White de Vries, about the future of the airline's route to Cardiff and what it will bring to the Welsh economy. So how excited is the company to launch this new service to Cardiff?
We're very excited. So it's always nice to be able to put a new dot on the route map for airlines, and we're thrilled to be able to connect Toronto to Cardiff. We already serve a decent number of cities within the UK, so really this expands our presence here. We've flown to the UK for over a decade now in various airports, and so this is an expanded service. So we saw a demand between Wales and Canada. There's a large Welsh diaspora in Canada, and so we think the route will do very well.
And is there hope that this new route will improve relationships by governments with by businesses with Wales and Canada for future to come?
Absolutely. So, there's of course tourism and family connections, but there's also business connections. Non-stop routes enable business and cargo, and so having this route will be very beneficial.
So what are you expecting the demographic to be of these flights? Is it more families visiting families from abroad across the Atlantic? Is it more based on business? Is it holidaymakers coming to Wales or people from Wales coming to Toronto? What are you expecting the demographic of it to be, basically?
All of the above, actually. So we're seeing pretty strong point of sale here in the UK, which is nice to see in a market where we're not historically known here in Wales, but we're also seeing a lot of Canadians wanting to come back. So there's definitely a strong visiting friends and family component, a strong tourism component, and this will enable business. So anytime you link two cities that don't have non-stop connections, it naturally sort of generates demand. So we do see some increase in business traffic as well.
And if this route does become a business, it does become very busy and beneficial for both Cardiff Airport and also Toronto and other connecting airlines in Canada, could you see the improvement, like the increased demand of routes coming to Cardiff, some more flights coming to the airport?
Potentially, yes. So, year one is always the proving year, and we do need to build the route and generate demand and get awareness of WestJet here in Wales. But we hope it will do well. It's forecasting quite positively right now, and so we always monitor performance, and if the demand is there, then we'll of course increase.
It was apparent in our previous discussions with John and Chris that both the airline and airport believe the new route will boost the Welsh and Canadian economy. We also asked one of the new members of the Welsh Cabinet, Adam Price, on his opinion on what the route will mean for Wales, as well as the potential impact it may have on achieving the climate targets set out by Plaid Cymru in their campaign manifesto. So what are you hoping this new route will bring to the Welsh economy?
Well, it's a fantastically historic day, the first transatlantic direct flight for almost 20 years, the first of many new global connections to our national airport here, and there were smiling faces of the passengers, but smiling faces all round, because this is not just important for the airport and for the local economy here, and that's really welcome, but actually it represents something really important for the whole of Wales, because if we can build a globally connected airport, that's great news for every part of Wales through our tourism sector, but also in terms of exports, in terms of inward investment. This is a real engine of growth for the economic future that we want to build. We want this to be a globally connected airport, because when we look around the world at the economic success stories, regionally, nationally, internationally, then having a globally connected airport is a central ingredient in that success. We know we have the potential here to build that kind of globally connected airport, and that's why we're committed to put in the investment needed so the potential is realised, not just for the airport itself, but also for the whole of the nation.
So with the party having a net zero goal by 2040, are you hoping as flights like these, increased routes like these, transatlantic ones, a threat to the same?
Well, I think that it's actually a net contributor, isn't it, to net zero if we can have actually people going on shorter journeys to airports rather than everyone driving to Heathrow and elsewhere. I'm allowed to mention other airports while I'm here, but it's far better actually for people to be using their local and national airport. But also, we're very interested, and so is the airport, in looking at ways in which we can contribute even in the aviation and airport context to decarbonisation, and there are plans and ideas in the short, medium, long term on that, and I'm sure they will have more to say in the years to come.
And obviously this is an increased route for transatlantic flights going outside of Wales. What hopes do Plaid Cymru have and the new Senedd government have to improve transport links within Wales as well?
Absolutely. I think that public transport, creating integrated transport systems, bus, rail, and indeed air as well, everything working together in as seamless a way as possible. And we're going to be doing a lot of work on that. We've obviously the metro system in South Wales, a key component, but we want to see that kind of integrated transport system being built in every part of Wales, so that we can actually build a public transport system that is fit not just for the Wales of today, but for the Wales of tomorrow.
It appears so far that the route is a positive one for Wales, and this same idea appears to be believed by many more when we spoke to economist Simon Calder.
I am so glad to hear that there is going to be a new link to Toronto at exactly the time that it becomes quite a lot more difficult to get from Cardiff and the rest of South Wales to London because of engineering works. And I hope that it will entice many more people from North America actually to travel to South Wales and appreciate its many joys.
While we have to see a transatlantic routes like these soon become the norm at Cardiff Airport, it appears to be a good stepping stone to increase the amount of flights to and from Wales, helping to boost the Welsh economy and create greater ease for people in Wales to travel around the world. Travel expert Simon Calder at the end there, talking about the brand new Cardiff Airport service to Toronto. Now let's take a look at some of the other stories across the Vale of Glamorgan and Wales this week. An 18-year-old man has been arrested following a police investigation that has been launched after a male was stabbed at Barry Island on Monday. South Wales Police Inspector Lisa Gore tells Bro Radio that incidents such as this are extremely rare, and the police understand how distressing this was for those in the area at the time. She says the police presence has increased and will continue over the coming days. The victim did not suffer from life-threatening or life-changing injuries as a result of the stabbing. Anybody who may have witnessed the incident is still encouraged to contact the South Wales Police or call 101. The First Minister has rolled out a Wales-wide ban on mobile phones in schools. Speaking to the BBC in Anglesey on Tuesday, Mr Apionworth says he would facilitate schools to take the decisions that they feel are right to protect children and young people. The Welsh Conservatives have since stated that Plaid Cymru must commit to stronger action to protect the under-16s in Wales. The UK Technology Secretary Liz Kendall has said that new measures for under-16s in England will be brought in by the end of 2026. The RSPCA has welcomed the Welsh Government's initiative to show variable messaging signage under the trunk roads, reminding people to protect their pets from the hot weather. Senior Public Affairs Manager for the RSPCA Cymru, Billy J. Thomas, said they urge owners to understand the danger of leaving their pet in a hot car and never taking this risk with their dogs' lives. Deputy Minister for Transport Mark Hooper has branded the initiative as the first country in the UK to use signage in this way, and that the government will continue to lead the way in helping to protect animals' lives. Still to come on the Vale this week, with only 2 weeks into the new term, the Senedd is on an early summer recess. We find out what this means to you, plus your sports roundup with Mike Fowler. This is Bro Radio. Now, since the election results were announced on May 8th, the Senedd has elected a new First Minister, a Llywyd, and a Deputy Llywyd. It has also held 2 plenary sessions and appointed members to the Business Committee, and it has now entered a mid-term recess, just over 2 weeks into its 7th term. It is likely to be until June before the Senedd gets fully back to work. So why is the Senedd going on break now? And what does it mean to us? Bro Radio's Robin Zhang has been speaking to Caerphilly Observer's Senedd reporter Ella Groves about this.
Recess is the time when the Senedd doesn't formally sit, meaning members don't meet in Cardiff Bay for debates or committee meetings. But importantly, this doesn't mean that Senedd members are just on holiday for this week or for the next couple of weeks in the summer. Normally, members can use this time to undertake work in their constituencies.
But for the Senedd, that means there'll be no voting, no debating on any of the issues until when?
So currently we're in recess for the next week, and they'll be back at the end of the week or beginning of next week. But there are a few recesses throughout the year, with the largest being the multi-week break in the summer, typically from the end of July to mid-September. So we'll be approaching that one again soon. And then there are other shorter breaks dotted throughout the year, including like Christmas and Easter.
So who decides when those recesses happen?
The dates of the recesses are decided by the Business Committee at the Senedd, which for the 7th Senedd is made up of Plaid Cymru's Heledd Vychan, Reform UK's Llyr Powell, Labour's Lynn Neagle and Paul Davis from the Welsh Conservatives. So under Senedd rules, Anthony Slaughter and Paul Rock from the Greens and Jane Dodds from the Lib Dems are also allowed to attend these meetings. It's then chaired by the Llywyd, or the presiding officer, who currently is Hugh Aranka Davis.
When the Senedd is on recess, and as you said, some of the MS might be still working on many cases, speaking to people about things. So can our listeners still contact their MS if they need some help, if some issue to discuss during the recess of the Senedd?
Yes, so MSs are typically, they will have a local office within the constituency they represent where they employ staff to help them address the needs of the people who live in their community. So during the recess, members typically return to their constituencies, focusing on local issues, public engagement, and you will still be able to contact the MS and their office during this time.
Caerphilly Observer's Senedd reporter Ella Groves there. The Business Committee has confirmed some of the recess dates for the remainder of the year, including a summer recess from July 20th to September 13th and an autumn half-term between October 26th and November 1st. And now with the sport, here's Mike Fowler.
Among
the Vale, Cardiff Airport were one of the last sides to finish playing football in the Vale, and they finished their season off with a 2-2 draw against Taffs Wells, with the home side taking an early lead on 5 minutes before Jack Davis restored parity. Conor Caxton saw red in the first half, but in the second Brandon Thomas restored the home side's advantage before a very late Theo Richards goal rescued a point for Airport, and that finishes the domestic football from around the Vale. But there has been some news in domestic football, and the FAW has announced a new partnership with sports brand Hummel. So Hummel will become the official partner of the FAW's domestic leagues, serving as the official ball sponsor for not just the JD Premier League and the Gennaro Adram Premier League, but it will also supply the balls for the Adram North, Adram South and Ardell leagues. And in addition to this, they will also become the official kit referee supplier as well for the Football Association of Wales. And the JD Premier structure changes for next season as well. So how does it change, you might ask? Well, first of all, we know that it's moving up from its current 12-team format to 16. And what's going to happen now is every team's going to play each other twice, so that'll be 30 matches in the league, and then where the league was splitting into two, it's now going to split into 3 areas. And the first one, it's going to be the top 6, and that'll be the championship race, where each team will play each other once more, and the team at the top will become the champions. And then clubs ranked 2nd to 6th will qualify for at least the end of season European qualification. So then in the next 6 teams will be in the European Challenger spot, and again they'll all play each other once, and the team placed 7th will claim a final spot in the end of season European qualification playoffs. And then finally the teams ranked 11th to 16th, they'll be in what's going to be called the survival zone. So again, they play each other once more again, and the teams finishing 15th and 16th will automatically be relegated, and then the team that finishes 14th, they will now compete in a relegation playoff. And what they'll do is they will meet the winner of the tie between the runners-up of the JD North and the runners-up of the JD Cymru South, and the winner of that one will then, if they're already a JD Cymru team, Premier team, they will remain in there, or they will take the place of the team. It's also a big year for the FAW, as the Football Association of Wales celebrates its 150th anniversary. And for those history buffs out there, the FAW was founded on the 2nd of February 1876, and it was by a group of businessmen who wished to organise a Cymru representative team capable of competing against Scotland. And 1 month later, on the 25th of March, that's what they did. So they played their first international match against Scotland at Hamilton Crescent in Glasgow. And although Scotland ran out 4-0 winners, the fixture marked a defining moment in football, where Wales had formally entered the international football arena. And to mark that occasion, on the 2nd of June, Wales take on Ghana, and that's a 7:45 kickoff at the Cardiff City Stadium. And Ghana, they're using this as their World Cup pre-matches. Also in the international arena, Cymru will complete their first phase of the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup qualifying fixture, with fixtures against Montenegro and Chechnya next month. And the penultimate game for Cymru takes place in Montenegro on Friday the 5th of June, before Chechnya head to Cardiff for what could be a winner-takes-all match. Cymru are currently sitting second on goal difference behind Chechnya in Group B1, and although Cymru are guaranteed playoffs, finishing top of the group offers a significant seeding advantage for the next stage of the qualifying campaign. So although domestic football's almost over, there's still a little bit to look forward to on the international stage. And as always, there's more sport on Monday night at 7 PM, or you can find it at broradio.fm.
You're listening to the Vale This Week on Bro Radio. Now, last bank holiday weekend saw record-breaking weather across Wales, with temperatures reaching over 32 degrees in Newport on Monday. Since then, temperatures have remained high, with it reading close to 33 degrees in Cardiff yesterday, making it the hottest May day on record. With these record high temperatures, I went to Victoria Park in Barry today to ask how people have found the weather in the past few days.
My name is Derek. I've worked on the Parks Department for 47 years.
So how have you found the weather in the last few days?
I love the weather. I mean, it's difficult, but it's really good. I love it. Love it.
Have you struggled to work in the heat?
As I say, it is difficult, but hey, this weather is lovely. It's outstanding, to be honest.
And how did you find the park last bank holiday Monday?
Very busy, but nice to see people out and using the sun for what it's for.
So do you feel like the council do enough to make sure people are safe in the heat when there are temperatures like this?
Well, there's shelter around. I mean, if people got the sense, they will go in the shelter. There's plenty of trees and shelters and all that. So, yeah, I think so.
And are you expecting another busy day today up until Friday?
Well, it's mostly the coastline that gets mostly the people, but the parks are doing okay, yeah.
Andy Rowell, greenkeeper.
So how have you found the weather in the last few days?
Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous, yes.
Has it been okay working conditions working at the bowling club?
Yes, fine. Grass is nice and dry, beautiful. Very busy up here, yeah, very busy.
And do you feel like the council do enough when there are temperatures like this to make sure the safety of everyone in the Vale?
Yes and no, I suppose. What can they do? The only trouble we've got here is the weekend, they close the toilets. The public toilets are closed on the weekend, and it's as busy as hell up here. So we got to open our toilets for the public.
Was it quite busy that everyone trying to get in and out of the building?
Yeah, well, especially when they got children, you know what I mean? And the children are looking for toilets, so we've got to let them in. Because the councils are locked. And
are you expecting it to continue to be busy today as well, with it being again 30 degrees?
Tonight, it'll be very busy tonight. We're playing, we playing Penarth. Carrickson against Penarth, yeah. Should be an easy win for Carrickson.
Last Sunday, the Met Office published guidance on X for those wishing to head outside in this weather, recommending applying sun cream every 2 hours and staying in the shade during the warmer hours of the day. For further information on staying safe in this weather, visit the Met Office website. Still to come on the Vale this week, we hear from the RNLI about the do's and don'ts at the beach, as more people choose to go to the coast in this hot weather, plus a roundup of events in our community with Gareth Richards. You are listening to the Vale this week on Bro Radio. I'm Oliver Perry. Now, beach days are becoming increasingly popular with record high temperatures in recent days. So how should we all stay safe while enjoying the weather? Bro Radio's Nathan Spackman has been speaking to Lisa Newbury from the RNLI.
So the key things is promoting the Float to Live message. So that's that key RNLI message that if you get into trouble, if you're in the water and you get into trouble, or you see anybody in the water that's in trouble, it's that Float to Live message. So you turn on your back, you put your ears in the water. More importantly, try and stay calm. I mean, it sounds like a difficult thing to do, but as soon as you get onto your back, you should just try to breathe normally. Move your hands and your feet, so that will help you stay afloat. And the key thing that I always like to say and like to remember is make like a starfish. So put your arms and your legs out so that you look like a starfish. That will help you stay afloat. Don't worry if your legs sink. I've got sinky feet, so my feet automatically sink. Don't worry about that, because we all float differently. And raise your hand and signal for help. That's the key message that we want to give out if you're in the water.
And when you head to the beach, many people see the flag. So let's explain the flag situation. When people head there, you'll see two flags. When people see those, what's the key bit they need to do when they see those two flags?
So those flags, so if you imagine now, the lifeguards go down to the beach first thing in the morning and they are assessing what the conditions are like. They know what the wind's like, they know what the tide's doing, and they will work out which is the very safest place to put those flags on the beach. So if you see those two flags, you know that the lifeguards are there. They're going to be looking, they'll be looking at all of the sea, but that's the safest place for you to be able to swim in between those flags. Because that's what has been assessed as the safest bit of beach and bit of water for you to be able to go in.
The lifeguards are going to be on the beach. This is full time, essentially. It's the start of the summer season, I guess. They're going to be there every day supporting people on the coast?
Yeah, every day, 10 till 6, right along our Vale coast, and they'll be there right now through to September.
And one of the key things that came up when we spoke quite a lot last year was around safety and missing children. It's a thing I think we've mentioned quite a lot. Children regularly missing. It's something you've dealt with, I think you said off air, sometimes on Whitmore Bay, up to 50 times in a day. And there are some ways that people can help in that situation in case that happens.
Yeah, you're right. Up to 50 on a really busy day. So for the very first time, we're going to be piloting a new system at Whitmore this year. So we've introduced a team of lifeguard support roles. That's a group of 9 trained volunteers. They've had all their training done, they've had all their DBS checks done, and they are going to be patrolling and helping out the lifeguards this summer. And their specific role is to try and reunite lost children with their families and with their friends. So it's the first time this has been trialled anywhere in the UK, and it's designed to really help out the lifeguards so that the lifeguards will be concentrating on having those eyes on the water. So we're really looking forward to that. They're going to be working on hot days. They will assess when the beach is going to be at its busiest. So when there's a super low tide or a high spring tide, they're going to be there. They'll be easy to spot. I've been told that they're wearing, there'll be pictures on our socials actually, but I haven't actually seen them yet. They've got bright red RNLI caps that they're going to be wearing. They're going to be in a gazebo next to the lifeguards, so they're going to be your main point of contact. We'll be doing lots and lots of stuff over the summer. What the other things that they'll be doing, they'll be carrying those lost wristbands, so they'll go to them or go to the visitor centre by the Yellow Welly, or go to a lifeguard and they'll give you a wristband. They've got a Sharpie, you can write your phone number on there so that if your child does get lost, they'll have that number on their wrist and we'll be able to hook them back up with their family and their friends.
And you touched on it there quickly as well, and to touch on some good news in the last week as well about that RNLI visitor experience, a great place that we came to last summer. And that's something that's going to be there for another 10 years for people to enjoy. And it's a great place to kind of understand some of those messages we've said and some of those key safety bits as well, as getting to play around and dress up as if you're in the RNLI as well.
Yeah, it's brilliant. We're really, really pleased. We re-tendered and we're there. We won the tender, so we'll be in that building now for another 10 years. I mean, the key thing, Nathan, it's going to be beautiful this weekend. It's going to be lovely next weekend, but sometimes we know what it's like. The weather's, not the best. So if you're stuck at Barry Island and it's a little bit miserable, you can pop in there. It's free. You get free entry, and the volunteers in there are absolutely brilliant and they're really good fun. And as you say, you can dress up as a lifeguard, at one of the RNLI volunteer crew, and they'll talk you through all the water safety messages, which is absolutely brilliant.
It's a brilliant place to visit. Hopefully people will do that amongst the sunshine this weekend, but it's going to be a glorious weekend, hopefully. Lots more safety advice on your social media as well for people to have a look at on the RNLI Barry Dock page. But meanwhile, hopefully you get some time to enjoy the sunshine and have a great bank holiday, Lisa.
Yeah, thanks, Nathan. We'll catch you soon.
Bro Radio's Nathan Spackman there, talking to Lisa Newbury from the RNLI. Now it's time to have a look at what's going on around the Vale of Glamorgan with Gareth Richards.
Let's start tomorrow, where Safe Communities and Strong Families are hosting a free family fun day at Victoria Park Community Centre in Barry between midday and 4 p.m. Activities include a bouncy castle, crafts, community safety advice and support, face painting and superhero meet and greet. It'll be fun for the whole family and all are welcome in helping to keep our community safe. The Gathering Place in St Athan are holding a baby and toddler group on Monday between 9 and 11 a.m. Entry is £3 per family and will include tea and coffee, biscuits and snacks for the toddlers, plus a large selection of toys, singing, arts and crafts and story time. If you're interested in doing some voluntary work, then Glamorgan Voluntary Services are organising 3 mini volunteering fairs taking place across the Vale this June to celebrate Volunteers Week next week. These drop-in events offer the public the chance to meet local organisations, discover a wide range of volunteering opportunities and find the perfect role to match their interests, skills and availability. The fairs will take place at Barry Library on Monday the 1st of June between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m, Penarth Library on Tuesday the 2nd of June between 10 a.m. and midday, Cowbridge Lesser Town Hall on Thursday the 4th of June between 10 a.m. and midday, and for more information visit gvs.wales. The Gathering Place Community Centre in St Athan will host Barry Ladies Choir on Wednesday the 3rd of June, This is a showcase performance and will run from 10:30 until 11 a.m. and entry is free. The choir will be performing highlights from their summer programme with opportunities to sing along as well. Refreshments will also be available from the Gathering Place Cafe. Visit barryladieschoir.com for further details. A series of 2-hour summer evening guided walks around Dinas Powys are being held every Wednesday throughout June. Next week, the 3rd of June, the walk is to the Salmon Leaps. All walkers are welcome and there will be some styles and climbs, as well as fields that may contain livestock. And good, sturdy footwear is essential. Meet at the junction of Mill Road and Millbrook Road in Dinas Powys at 7 p.m. and entry is free. See Dinas Powys Walks Facebook page for more details, and these walks are organised by Dinas Powys Community Council.
And that was a Vale This Week from Bro Radio. As always, if you have a story to share, get in touch with us via email at news@broradio.fm. I'm Oliver Perry, thanks for listening.